When your state has a change to the sales tax rate, you don't want to come into the sales tax setup window and change the rate of existing tax rules. You have sales in the past where those tax rules are selected and calculating the tax, and if you change the rate and then you later make a change on the old sale, the sale that's still in process, the new tax rate will get used, and that may not be the case. So you want to find out from your state, does this tax rate change apply to only sales generated or created new from the change date moving forward, or does the rate change apply to any jobs that are still in process? That's probably not likely to change the tax rate for old jobs, but you want to find out. What you'll do is set up a new tax rule with the new rate, and probably rename the old rule in a particular way slightly, and then eventually, not at first, but eventually you'll uncheck this activate box to deactivate that tax rule so it can't be used anymore. So I'm going to change this. We'll say this is the Salt Lake County rule, and we're going to change this to say old Salt Lake County rule. Press enter, and then my new one, I'm just going to name it Salt Lake County, and applies to one location or another. This one says Broadway store, so I'm going to set this at Broadway store. It's use tax, and the new rate is, we'll say, 7%. And we'll save our changes, and then we close and open QFloors to use those changes. And remember, everyone that has QFloors open at the time that you make the change needs to close and reopen the software in order to see those changes and use them. If the state says that the new rate takes effect in a date in the future moving forward, then you really don't need to make any changes to your existing sales. When that date comes around and a salesperson clicks new, then they'll have this option to select. They need to select the new one. You might make the new one inactive until the date that it takes effect. Then they won't get this window until that date arrives. But at some point you probably need to change the tax on one of your on your proposals, so that if this sale does become an actual job, it has the new rate applied already. If you don't, it's going to keep this old rate. So to change it, you'll click this button, select the new rate. You'll get a warning. The tax will be recalculated, which could change the total. So we're seeing now this is use tax. Let's say no. We're going to open the job cost window. So we have tax of $35.05, and we change this. Now we have a new tax amount. So you might want to do that on all of your proposals, so that when the tax rate change date has come and gone, and this sale gets converted, this proposal gets converted to an actual sale, it has the new rate in effect already. You might not want to do that until the day before the rate change takes effect, but it's something that you'll probably want to do. You'll eventually need to deactivate the old tax rule. You'll know that you can when you go to your in process all list in the reports field at the bottom here in your search window, and you do a custom date search. Probably something old to catch everything. Do that, January 1. Something really old is fine. Up through the date of the last date that the old rate is in effect. And when that's an empty list, then you're probably okay to change your old rule to inactive. And you want to be in this in process all list. So when you have a new rate, don't just come in and change the rates in your setup window, set up a new option. Thank you.